Are you feeling overwhelmed because you have way too much on your plate and you're juggling too many tasks? If that sounds familiar, I have a time management hack for you. So several years ago, I read a book from Stephen Covey. It was called, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in that book, he introduced the Eisenhower matrix. And the Eisenhower matrix is basically a tool that's utilized to help prioritize tasks, right? Anything that's on your to-do list. How am I going to prioritize that? Sometimes we get overwhelmed if we have way too much on our plate. The Eisenhower matrix is designed for people that need to be more effective with their time and their schedule. So I'm going to walk you through that today. The Eisenhower matrix is broken out into 4 different quadrants. And the very first one that we have is important and urgent. And in that box right there, or in that bucket, those are items or tasks that need to be done right away. Those are time sensitive, those have a deadline, and there will be consequences if it doesn't get completed in a timely manner. Then we move on to the next quadrant, and it is important but not urgent. And these are tasks that you need to go ahead and just schedule. They don't have any real deadline, but you want to schedule it on your calendar so that you have time to work on it and it brings you closer to reaching your goals. Then we move into the next bucket, and that is not important but urgent. And in that bucket right there, you want to delegate those tasks that need to get done, but they don't really require your expertise. And then in the very last bucket, you've got not important and not urgent. And in that bucket right there, you need to just delete that. Remove those tasks from the bucket. Now, let's go ahead and walk through a quick example. The very first one right here, which is important and urgent, under this quadrant, you want to make sure that, say, for example, you have a deliverable that needs approval, right? You want to make sure that that's going to be time sensitive because that's going to impact your project schedule, and you need to make sure that that gets approved right away, right? So that would be an example of something that you need to do that's important, urgent, and it needs to be done right away because it's time sensitive. Then we move on to not urgent but important. And this is an example would be you got to start planning for the next phase of the project, right? So you want to go ahead and schedule some time on your calendar so that you can start working and planning out the next phase. But it's not something that has a huge deadline just yet. So you've got some time and flexibility. Then we move into the delegate. And one of the examples I have there is, say, for example, you're troubleshooting an issue, or maybe you're looking into an invoice, or, there's some kind of research or something that needs to be done, right? So you might be able to delegate this to a team member. Maybe they can go troubleshoot for you. It doesn't necessarily require your expertise, but it needs to be done. Then we move into the delete bucket here. And under the example I have there is, for example, we get so many newsletters and so many emails and so many things that are they're not important, right? And it's not urgent. So just delete the task if it's going to distract you and it has no measurable value. As a project manager, we have to be very mindful of time management and scheduling, especially when it comes to completing tasks and reaching our goals and objectives for a project. So I hope that this matrix helps you in prioritizing your tasks. And if you want to learn more about project management, go ahead and drop PM Pro in the comments below, and I will DM you a link to a free ebook on the 5 strategies on how to land a project manager job. Thanks.